the things we wanted to do. We wanted to continue on our journey of doing some extra credit, more advanced anchoring ideas, particularly around the quad. Quad is, like I said, a really popular anchor today. And a lot of times at an anchor, whether it's a Bolton anchor or traditional anchor, you want to organize things. You got a lot of things going on with people clove hitching into an anchor to secure themselves, people that you're belaying up. And so like if you can do things to stagger your master point, it's really helpful. Or like with the pre-distributed anchor, you can use the shelf in addition to the master point. That's one of the advantages to it. With the quad, you can do some things as well. And so here I'm just going to start to build my standard quad. But what I'm going to do here is I'm purposely going to leave one of these strands down here a little longer. I'm still going to keep that knot right up there. Got to pull the right one here. When I was climbing El Cap last summer, this is actually what we use as an anchor at every pitch, because climbing big walls, you have a lot going on. So if you can do some things to help improve that efficiency, organizing the anchors, it's really helpful. So there, I tied that first overhand knot with these two different length ends, and then I'm going to even them out at the end and tie a knot there. And now what I've done here is I've created a staggered master point. I can use my knots to adjust things. And what I've got now is I've got just a little bit more way to like organize things. And particularly as we get into things with self-rescue, you may find some times where this kind of staggered master point on your anchor is really helpful. There's other ways with other anchors that you can accomplish this, so this isn't the only way, but it's just one way. That's another cool application with the quad. So just something to think about. A lot of cool things we can do here with anchors, and often we kind of geek out in this class with anchors. In our other courses here at CMC Spring Valley, a lot of times we're teaching you the basics, but then this is where in this class we get to really have a lot of fun with it and just really explore. As I mentioned earlier, I tend to often have pretty long cordelettes, or at least I'll have one long one with me and then one short one. And a lot of times the question is, well, how long does your cordelette need to be? So what's short, what's long? Usually people say 15 to 20 feet. The one I was using earlier there, that's about 18 feet. And then this one I purposely cut really long. It's about 24 feet or so. And so I could use this to build a standard quad like normal. But you'll see it's going to be really long. Now there's some advantages to why personally I like some long cordelettes. And one is it just gives me a lot of versatility if I need to like go around a tree or something like that, or maybe I know I'm going to have to replace some old webbing on a root, so I might bring a long cordelette knowing that I'm going to have to replace some stuff. So here I made a quad, totally safe, totally secure and bomber, but it's pretty long, right? And I have to move the knots way down here, so hence now my master points come down real low, and typically we want the master point up higher. So let's look at what we can do with this long quad. Take my knots out again. And what I'm doing here is certainly not my invention. I've seen other guides work with it, like good guides, people that are on the AMGA instructor team that are IFMGA guides and really solid. And the thing is with anchors, when you learn how to build anchors, you can really get creative. You understand the principles and what you're trying to get at. And so that's a little bit of where this comes from. And I've played around with this a lot in my own personal climbing as well with other guides. And here now, I tripled it. Okay, instead of just doubling it. And I'm just going to tie it like I normally would with a quad. And now when I complete it, I don't have just 4 strands, I have 6 strands. And I don't have a good name for this. I haven't heard a good name for this. I don't know that you'll find this in a book somewhere. Some author will probably put this in a book at some point and they'll give it a name. We've been kind of calling it the sext. That's a little awkward. I mean, if you have sextuplets, if you have 6 kids, you'd have sextuplets. Just like having 4 would be a quad like we had before, but now we have sext. Somebody my wife said you should call it the six-stranded quad. It just seems kind of awkward to say six-stranded and then also say the word quad like four. So whatever you want to call it, it gives you a lot of versatility, a lot of redundancy because you have 3 strands up here and 3 on this leg as well, and you've got 6 down here now. So you can clip into 3 and 3. You can clip into 2. This gives you a lot of options. Let's say you've got 3 of you on a multi-pitch climb. You could have one person clipped into those 2, one person clipped into these 2, and one person clipped here. So you could do a lot with this. And actually, climbing El Cap last summer, we used a version of this, the Sext or whatever you want to call it, just because it gave us a lot of opportunities to work with it. We actually made it staggered, so we could do a lot with it. So there you go, just some more things to think about, and we could go on and on and on. And we encourage you to check things out online. There's a lot of material out there, but also just like reach out to Sarah and I. You could email us, text us, message us, like have a video chat with us, and we can continue down this fun road of all kinds of things you can do in the anchoring world.